Welcome back. All right, hopefully you were able to come up with some addition and subtraction problems for those fractions. If you can see this, there's what I came up with. Hopefully you were able to find some of your own. Maybe yours were the same, maybe you had them in a different order, but I wanted to get your brain warmed up seeing if you could find those addition and subtraction relationships between those fractions. All right, our lesson for today, we are going to talk about first solving problems like this. Now, this is a little different because we've got a whole number and we're subtracting a fraction. Up until this point, we've just done adding and subtracting fractions and fractions, but now we've got this whole number in here. Now I want you to think for just a minute, how could we change this whole number, or what could we do to make it a little easier on ourselves to subtract or to take out 3/8? I'm going to give you a thinking time for just a moment. This is our thinking time phase. All right, here's what I came up with. So I want to change my 1 whole into 8ths because it's much easier for me to take 8ths and subtract 8ths because it's the same unit. We're talking about the same thing. So thinking about what I know about fractions, 1 whole would be how many 8ths? I'm going to pretend you said it. 8/8. Now I've changed my 1 whole into the fraction of 8/8, and I can subtract 3/8. And what that would look like is if I have 8/8, let me draw a picture for you real quick, just because pictures help my brain like the math a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's my 8ths. And if I have 8/8 and I subtract 3, gone, 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 I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8 left. Or if you remember when we were talking about this before, when you're adding and subtracting fractions, your denominator stays the same because we're talking about the same unit, the same type of thing. But we're just subtracting our pieces on the top. So the denominator stays the same. I can just do 8 minus 3, and I end up with 5/8. I want to show you real quick, too, what that would look like on a number line, because sometimes that helps our brains even a little bit more. So if I have 0 here, and this is 1, but I'm going to call it 8/8. I'm going to break this into 8ths. Sorry, give me just a sec. 1. And then if I subtract 3/8, so I go back 1, 2, 3/8, I should have ended up at, gotta fix that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. You may have noticed me sneak another one in there. I didn't make my 8ths right. Mistakes happen. It's okay. Okay, so either way, whether I do a picture, I could draw a number line, or if I just remember that the denominator stays the same, 8/8 minus 3/8 is 1/5, which, wow. 8/8 minus 3/8 is 5/8, which means 1 whole minus 3/8 equals 5/8. Okay, having a hard time saying the words I need to say today. So let's try one more, and then I'll give you a few problems to try on your own. Let's do 1 whole minus 2/5. Now, if I want to subtract this, I want my 1 whole to be the same unit. I want it to be in 5ths. So how many 5ths are 1 whole? 1 whole is how many 5ths? Now pretend you said it. It's okay if you're talking to the camera because I'm talking to the camera. 5/5 is the same as 1 whole. Now I can subtract my 2/5 fairly easily. Denominator stays the same. 5 minus 2 is 3. So that means 1 minus 2/5 is 3/5. Okay, I want you to try a few problems on your own. On page 123, where you just did the first couple problems, I want you to do number 2, letter A, B, C, and D. Okay, just A, B, C, and D for number 2. Now, the instructions ask you to draw a number line. If that helps you, please do it. But if the number line is just confusing you, don't worry about it. But I want you to try A, B, C, and D on number 2 on page 123, then come back and we will finish the lesson.